Hasbro, we really need to talk. Somebody's been lying to you about what you're in the business of making. Let's get into it. So late last year, Hasbro came out with this reorganization. We're going to be bigger and badder and more awesome 2.0 way forward thing. This article comes out yesterday. This is from Hasbro's website. Hasbro announces organizational changes and provides update on fourth quarter and full year 2022 financial results. It's not great. Hasbro Incorporated announced today the elimination of approximately 15% of its global workforce this year. That's about 1,000 employees. The reduction will start to take effect within the next several weeks. With these actions, along with ongoing system and supply chain investments, the company is on track to achieve its goal of 250 to 300 million in annual run rate cost savings by the end of year 2025 to drive profit and reinvestment in core brand growth. So they're looking to save about 300 million, slashing jobs. So according to Chris Cox, Hasbro Chief Executive Officer, we are focused on implementing transformational changes amid substantially reducing costs and increasing our growth rates and profitability. So what's that say? Make less, make it cheaper, charge more. Okay. Mr. Cox here goes on to say, through this strategy, we are putting the consumer at the center of everything we do. And our operational excellence program is on track to drive significant cost savings across the business and improve our overall competitiveness. All right. If you want to make money, make your products available. Make a volume of the products available. Make products that people want. This mug, for instance. Okay. Let's say I made 1,000 of these mugs. I could sell them for cheaper than if I made 10 of these mugs. Let's say I only made 10 of these mugs and I only released them in one store. They're going to be harder to find. They're going to be more expensive. That's what Hasbro's doing. Make more of these mugs. So for fourth quarter of 2022, Hasbro's revenue was approximately 1.68 billion. Now that's down 17% year over year, but 1.68 billion in a quarter is a lot of money. Their full year 2022 revenue was approximately $5.86 billion. They're laying off 1,000 employees. Their preliminary operating profit margin increased, and their adjusted operating profit margin increased. The profit margins are increasing, but they're losing money. Kind of sounds like you're not making enough toys. Leadership and organizational changes. Let's read this. I got some suggestions for leadership and organizational changes. The company is undertaking organizational changes that will result in the elimination of approximately 1,000 positions from its global workforce this year, approximately 15% of global full-time employees. The changes will include a new organizational model, commercial alignment, and leadership changes that the company will discuss in more detail. The elimination of these positions will impact many loyal Hasbro employees, and we do not undertake this process lightly. Hopefully you don't. However, the changes are necessary to return our business to a competitive industry-leading position and to provide the foundation for future success. You want to talk about organizational changes? Here's a couple organizational changes you can make. This is just one person's opinion, okay? This is subjective, and we're talking about toys. But look at this. This thing failed. The stretch goals for this thing were ridiculous. Bones. A cardboard backdrop. Okay, that failed miserably. This Black Series Reva, third sister, lightsaber, failed. Failed even worse than the Rancor failed. And who can forget this thing? The engine of vengeance, the engine of greed. Robbie Reyes, really? That's what you want to make with HasLab? You are abusing the HasLab model. The model that you came up with, you're abusing. This is just one person's opinion. They're just toys. It's entirely first world problem. But you're abusing your HasLab model. The HasLab model was designed to come up with toys that were so awesome, so ridiculous, so over the top that you could never sell them in store. The Kitana, right? Jabba's sail barge? Sure. Galactus? Absolutely. Unicron? Yep. Sentinel? Okay. But a Rancor? A Sky Striker? A Hiss Tank? No. If you want to make something crazy that you've never made before, make the Cobra Aspid. Make the Cobra Silent Temple. Make stuff like that. Re-release a flag. Do something crazy. Take Mask. That's an IP that you're just sitting on. You're letting it collect dust. People still love Mask. Why don't you take Mask? You could release a Rhino and a Switchblade, or a Thunderhawk and a Switchblade. You could do it in 4-inch. You could do it in 6-inch. I bet you that would sell. It definitely fun better than this Engine of Vengeance thing. If you're relying on nostalgia and brand loyalty to carry your profits, I hate to tell you, there's other brands out there that do it better, that are more available and cheaper. Member berries and brand loyalty and repaints are not a solid business model. Even though you made billions in profit, it still says you're losing money, and now you're firing 1,000 employees. You had to sell off the animation company that you paid billions for that you never used. You're a toy company. Just make toys. I don't know when anyone at that company decided that going from a toy company to a shareholder company was a good idea. And there's brand managers at your company that don't know anything about the brands they manage. That might be a red flag. When you're pricing kids out of toys and then turning around and complaining that kids don't play with toys anymore, that might be a red flag. When you're purposefully engineering your lines to not have vehicles or playsets or any kind of story or world building, that might be a red flag. When I can find a toy from 1985 cheaper and easier than a toy that is currently being produced and supposedly stocked in stores right now, that's a red flag. Stop letting IPs collect dust. Stop just doing repaints of figures. All of your toys look exactly the same. I don't care if it's Star Wars Black Series, if it's Marvel Legend, if it's G.I. Joe Classified, they all look exactly the same. It's like you're producing electric razors or something. I gotta say, it's kind of a sad irony that the company that was originally saved from closing their doors by releasing Hungry Hungry Hippos has now become that hippo. Gluttonous. Have an awesome day. See you later. Oh, and remember, knowing is half the battle. The other half is not understanding your fan base. G.I.